It's Team Robbie versus Team X.
You'll go head-to-head in 3 football-related challenges right here on DR Sports.
And whoever comes out on top, you're getting flown to Turkey with one of us
We've teamed up with Antlara Dental Clinic
to get your teeth done.
out in Antalya, Turkey.
I'm talking flight, the hotel, the full procedure.
The competition is open to UK residents only.
And Lara is throwing in a 10% discount for everyone who applies.
Do not want to miss this.
Let the jewels begin.
Yes, good afternoon, people. Welcome back to DR Sports for another edition of the Weekend Roundup Show. Today on the show, we're going to be discussing the Club World Cup results. We got today's fixtures to look forward to as well as all the transfer ins and outgoings, including Real Madrid wanting yet another Liverpool player potentially on a free. And we'll get into that. I promise you we'll get into that. Myself, AGT, we've got Robbie, we've got Flex, and we've got Matthias back from South Africa. A round of applause for Matthias, I think it's in order.
Oh, thanks. I had a great time. Unbelievable trip. That was the best trip of my life, I'll be honest. There's a lot of fear-mongering going into it because like, South Africa is dangerous. So went out there, beautiful.
They showed you so much love, innit?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Was it Johannesburg?
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
It's beautiful.
Content.
I have to say, like, just from as a viewer perspective, I just see Turkish outside. Like, I was just like legendary stuff. For you guys to create
levels.
That, obviously, Turkish spearheading it, whatever. But the team that you guys and the camaraderie to go to somewhere like that and receive that love. There's that clip of Turkish doing the speech. The love for the love speech. Like, it's literally that just shows anyone watching, like, you can start a thing, start a movement. You know, independent. Get out there. Get stuff happening, and I was just watching the content, smiling.
And Africa
Wicked.
is unreal.
The love they show out there is
I've been
insane.
lucky enough to be out there a few times as well, and it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? And like you said, that some little fear mongering sometimes that goes on about. It's not. It's great.
That was unbelievable.
That trip there, it looked great. I'm actually out there in I think end of September, so I can't wait. I was watching your thing. I was thinking, yeah, man.
You've experienced.
You know when you
I'll
just
have
got
to
that bucket list to just tick on a trip, and everything just gets ticked and more. That's what it was.
Wicked. Amazing.
Have you recovered jet lag and that?
No jet lag. It was only an hour difference.
Okay.
Is it?
I could move out there. I'll be right.
only
I
an
could
hour,
easily live out there. Huh? Yeah, it's only an hour.
Was it baking hot? I saw you lot in hoodies.
Yeah, it was hot.
As well,
It's their winter, but their winter is warm. Man.
So it's still hot.
Yeah, one of my brothers was actually living in South Africa. He was living in Cape Town for quite a few years, and he only moved back because his wife's from South Africa, and he only moved back because really to put his kids through school. And I actually saw him on Saturday, and he said to me he's thinking about going back. Yeah, because he loves it out there. He loves it. So
it's good to have you back.
Big up, man.
It's good to have you back.
You didn't get eaten by a lion, man. So.
Nah.
Unfortunately.
Bare hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love that. Right, like I said, loads of stuff to get through today. Get your super chats in, get your chats in. We'll be going through them. 1 or 2 results.
Hey, you know what? Just before that, right?
Go on.
Because I've seen a lot of AGT. Sorry to interrupt you, right? Because I've seen a lot of comments, right? So just to address this regarding Abby. Abby will be returning to the show sometime in July, right? So I see a lot of people talking this, that. Abby will be returning to the show sometime in July. Hopefully, that just kills that now and all that chatter that's going on, okay?
No, yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
Back to you.
We love that. Right, Stephen Ireland's grandmother says, the panel, Trent learned a special skill in his free time. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. What skill would you like one player at your club to learn over the summer? That's a great question.
Well, it takes longer than just the summer to learn Spanish. I say it take well over a year to speak it that fluent. You should know. How long did it take you?
It's just kind of, it's not like a specific period, but I'd say like a year, at least a year.
So at least a
maybe
year.
like 2 or 3 years. Actually,
So how
if I'm being
fluent he
honest.
was speaking Spanish?
Yeah.
You reckon that took him about a year at least?
Maybe it was just a hobby.
That's practice.
It was just a hobby.
Duolingo
A hobby,
quote
yeah.
tweeted.
Yeah, no, that was like a Paddy
1,000-day
Power
streak.
moment.
Yeah, proper.
Big up to doing
a hobby, yeah?
One skill you'd like your player at your club to learn this summer? Finishing. Darwin Núñez. I mean, it's not going to be beneficial to us because he's leaving, so let me pick another one. One skill.
I
It's
know.
a tough one.
For me,
Go on.
getting over the line and the winning. Right, a trophy.
I don't
That's
know
what
if you can teach
that's what I need them to learn.
Can you teach that over the summer?
I know I missed the reaction, but I'm sure AGT took it gracefully, you know, loved it. He learned Spanish. It's just a coincidence, right? It's not a big deal.
Did you see that person that was like, well, you learned Spanish, AGT, should we boo you? I'm like, yeah, what?
Got a point.
What was your reasoning? Are you going to Madrid?
No, I've already been.
There you are. But no, listen, obviously that's he's done that, you know, in the background. He's prepared himself. He's moving to another country. It happens. I think you gotta just let it go until you face each other now, because otherwise if you keep digging, you'll find out way more information than you want to find out.
Yeah.
Fluent Spanish though, man.
I know. I don't.
He smashed it. I'm not gonna lie. And the thing is, he could have easily like tripped over, tried to make it a little bit less blatant.
Been in the mirror the night
threw in a
before,
few wrong pronunciations. Nah, everything was just crisp.
But what skill would you like a player from your club to learn?
Not Spanish.
Not Spanish. A lot of them speak Spanish already. But
well, if they already know it, that's calm.
Flex.
What skill would I love them to learn?
Special skill.
Score.
Simple, really, isn't it?
Score, win. You know, don't throw your toys out of the pram when it goes bad. Resilience, composure. All of the stuff that I don't have.
Takes a while.
Be good at football, everything.
What about Xerxes? Dancing?
Yeah, catch a wine in Barbados.
Yeah. See that?
Don't mind that. That's a skill you must remain.
Improve.
Go to the Caribbean islands, go catch a wine. Yeah, damn right.
Score goals first, then why not?
He's injured, mate. I'm not that guy. That's one thing. I'm not that guy.
Injured when he was gyrating his hips.
You'd never be standing up straight though, mate. You know what I mean? It's different to the short, sharp, explosive moves you need when you're playing on the pitch. That's different. He's just standing up back straight. Catch a wine.
Rock off your back.
Rock off your back.
That's great.
That's what he was doing.
I
weren't him.
That comes injured for the new season, mate. Rock off your back. Rock off your back.
I'll do my medical assessment of him on the 19th of July in Sweden. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to Stockholm, yeah?
Going Stockholm because we got Leeds there. That's the first game pre-season.
Leeds.
That would be tasty.
We always come and play them quite a few times in pre-season.
That's a tasty.
We did it the year before last as well.
I don't think Stockholm's ready for that.
Nah, they've had it quite a few times in pre-season, man. It's actually
that's a tasty one.
There'll be a lot of Leeds fans there.
Nah, when we did it in Oslo last time, the year before last, I went to that, or even 2 years ago.
Mount's debut.
It was Mount. Yeah, it was Mount's debut. I believe it was Mount. Yeah, it was. We won that game. There's a couple of Utes who scored that day.
But there will be.
The Leeds. No, there is. There is.
They'll bring loads.
Yeah, they do. But it's not like as intense when you go Ellen Road. It's not
funny
because
we got Spurs.
No.
We got Spurs in pre-season friendly.
Oh, really?
In Hong Kong, yeah.
So
it
doesn't have the same.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same.
We played you in Singapore.
Yeah.
Then we played you last year and you gave us licks 3-0.
Smoked you again.
Gave you licks the year before that.
And then beat
in Thailand 4-0.
3 weeks after in the real
season. So we beat you 4-0 in that one, but it didn't really mean anything.
Yeah, because we won the league.
It's just pre-season.
No, it's all good. Eli Brigante says from Gyokeres to Sesko, now to Watkins. Are we having that?
It's not to Watkins. There's you know.
Well,
what's Transfer Daily saying? Watkins?
No, I spoke about Watkins, but it's the Plan C.
Plan C.
Plan C.
Right. Listen, he won't be. It's going to be one of Gyokeres or Sesko. Gyokeres has said, innit, he wants to come to Arsenal. That's his priority.
Yeah, but is it Arsenal's priority? Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah. Is it your priority?
Well, that's it.
Yeah. We don't want to hear what his priority is. Yeah, I want to know what's his name? Andrea Beretta. Him. What's his priority? What's Mikel Arteta's? Right, him.
It's Berta, not Beretta, right?
Yeah, him. Whatever his name is. What's his priority? Yeah. Who does he want? It's all good. Gyokeres.
Berta wants Gyokeres.
I tell you what, I want to go there. What does he want?
And Arteta wants Sesko.
Hold on. Notice how he twisted it, yeah? Right? To try and throw it back on me.
Mate. He does that sometimes.
How about you saying that he rejected Man United?
Absolute
after you
snubbed.
came in here, right? On Friday, KG was there, like this and all that. He rejected you and said his priority is Arsenal.
Yeah, hold that.
So you don't worry about
He didn't reject us. He gave priority to Arsenal. He didn't reject us.
Right, so you don't worry about what...
He did.
You don't worry. Listen,
he said no,
you don't worry
no,
about what
thank you.
we decide there, because of what we decide.
Yeah.
In the case of you, he has decided that his priority, as you said, is Arsenal.
Yeah. But is your priority? He's
wait, do you still want him at your club after he's prioritised Arsenal?
Well, I've done a video this morning talking about what sloppy seconds looks like. And, you know, I waved a white handkerchief.
Yeah, you should.
Today, which I did, but, you know.
No, but you know what?
But you're Man United. You shouldn't be anyone's second.
No, but
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
Hold on, wait a minute. I am Man United and we are Man United 100%. I'm also realistic. I also said in my breakdown, I was like, Listen, can I blame him for wanting to go to Arsenal over Man United at this point? No. He wants to play the Champions League. But I also discussed football's a funny old game. Arsenal might not want him. Then what's his next option? What, am I going to be like, just because you said no then at the first...
I'm like that. To be honest,
I'd still have him. We need a striker, bro.
I'm like that as well. I remember last year.
Of course I would still have him.
I remember last year.
I'll just have Rasmus instead because he said no. No! Bring!
Last
Even
year...
if Arsenal say no.
Last year we've been heavily linked. We were being heavily linked with Rafinha.
Yeah.
Remember?
We were linked as well. We were both linked, and then Barcelona took him off both of us.
Loads of fans, no, you're joking, man. Remember he turned us down. I don't want it. And I said, I'd have him.
Yeah.
Because it's business. Like, listen, this is the business of football. Yeah, he wanted to go there, but look how good he's been now. Right?
It's
just
football,
because to me, if you just because
that was exactly the thing I was going to bring it to.
Gyokeres choosing Arsenal's priority makes perfect sense. Come on, let's be real. They're in the Champions League. They're challenging for titles and stuff like that. And United are far off it. So just like clubs have their plan A, plan B, plan C, as I just spoke about, a player's got theirs as well. There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think.
And what about Mr. Brian Mbeumo? Is he another one that could suit Manchester United?
Well, if you've read the reports properly instead of the headlines, you'd understand.
Oh, it's a question, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving you an answer. Okay. Giving you an answer.
Bit defensive, aren't we, Flex? A little bit defensive.
I want to hear the answer. Or
you're
going into that Auckland City low block right now.
If you read all the reports, you'd understand why I'm very comfortable with the situation. Because his priority is still to join Man United.
His
priority.
I've just learned that priority.
What's your priority?
If you get stood down, just like you're telling me.
What's Brian's priority?
Well, you put down 70 million, Spurs, that's fine. But he doesn't want it. You can't make a player go to you.
Well, Thomas Frank can have a phone call and say, do you fancy playing Champions League, mate? Or do you fancy not playing any European football?
Again, every single outlet that has reported that, listen, the bid is real from Spurs. They want him to try. I agree with that. But every single outlet still says, when you read it, fair enough, because at the top it just says, hijack, 70 million, when you actually read it. And Mbeumo's preference is still to go to Manchester United. And also, we talk about this thing called wages, don't we? But in context with the Spurs fans, obviously, Daniel Levy settings, they're not willing to pay him. They'd have to mash up their whole wage structure to put him on 200 bag a week. We're like, comfy, 150 plus your add-ons, performance-related bonuses, could take you to 200. They're offering him all in 135 to 150. So
money talks.
You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see about that.
Money talks.
We will see where that one ends up.
We'll see. But he will be at Man United.
Cashley Cole, AGT, you were missed on yesterday's watch along as you were the only one to read Superchats that cooked Thai. Who was on last night? Was it Laurie and Stu? On the watch
yeah.
I really do not cook Thai.
Right, let's go through a couple of these Club World Cup results. Al Ali versus Inter Miami 0-0. Messi did everything he could to score. Hit the bar, a couple free kicks, hit the side net and couldn't get it over the line. And then Palmeiras 0, Porto 0. So not the best advert for the Club World Cup for the first two games.
How did
that was the last game.
How did your player play? Your guy?
Astaval, I think it was a good performance. Yeah, he's thing is with him is that when I watched the game, because I didn't watch the whole game. I watched the first 60 minutes of that, right? That's bedtime now. But his teammates don't seem to be on his wavelength. So I'm interested in seeing him now in a team which there's more quality,
man of the match,
more 1-2s. It was man of the match, but I don't want to do too much. It was good. It wasn't like some madness, but it was a good watch. I think both teams evenly matched as well. Porto, they tried to target on the set pieces a lot. Samuel, obviously up front, he's been doing pretty well last year. Rodrigo Mayo or something on the left wing, one of their star boys, Porto. Very good performance. He looked pretty good. But yeah,
I didn't watch the game. Did Fabio Vieira play?
I didn't see him. I saw Felipe Anderson and Palmeiras, former West Ham player, I think.
Is Fabio coming to you this summer now?
Yes. So he's doing the Club World Cup with Palmeiras.
Then
he played right wing, then he went left wing. I still prefer him right wing. We got a lot of right wingers, but let's see how it goes. But yeah, it was all right.
Felipe Anderson's still at Palmeiras.
Yeah. And also Victor Roque, the Barca, well, former Barca player when he was there for a bit. But yeah, it was all right. Both games were decent. Like they weren't 0-0s. They deserved to be goals in those games, but obviously then Bayern Auckland, which was just a disgrace to the game itself. I watched PSG Atletico, but yeah, it was interesting first day.
So it was 2 0-0s, and then it lit up a bit with the PSG 4 Atletico Madrid 0 game. PSG just continuing to show everyone who they are, what they're about, and how they go about business. 4-0.
Yeah.
Atletico rarely lose by a margin like that.
Levels. That I see some quotes from Simeone afterwards. He was like, when they needed help for a left winger, they went and bought Kvaratskhelia. The typical Simeone thing. But I only watched the first half actually, at 2-0 after the Vitinha goal. Yeah, I don't know, I fell asleep.
Quality.
But and actually that second goal, Atletico were on the attack.
Yeah.
And it just broke down, and 20 seconds later, 30 seconds
And
later,
they could have scored more as well,
end.
right? The Rabbits missed a few chances, man. Like.
Yeah. So basically, just off the first half, I just saw them setting pace, just in complete
No, they were
control.
brilliant. PSG, it felt like they were kind of in like second gear, just playing, just complete control, man. Yeah, training drill. Atletico were really poor. Considering Simeone, you think, okay, defensive, resilient, some sort of organisation. Some of the goals that PSG were getting were just walk-ins. But that was just a continuation of the Champions League final, man. The way they play front to back, in and out of possession. They're so organised defensively, press, just fantastic, man. There was no Dembele in that game as well. Ramos played up front. Obviously, Barcola's still not starting. But yeah, it's top. They're a top team, man. They're definitely favourites. No one's playing better football than them right now. And obviously, Barca are not at this tournament. So.
Yeah, they won their last game 5-0 and they've won this one 4-0.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know I did see that quote from Simeone, but if you look at the bench, the unused players for Atletico, Cesar Azpilicueta, obviously I know he's past it, but you want that leadership in a competition like this. Conor Gallagher didn't even come on. Jimenez, the defender, didn't come on. Axel Witsel didn't come on. Thomas Lemar didn't come on.
Lamar's still there. He's still there. Remember the Arsenal were trying
his
to buy him.
career is just going down the drain.
He's still there.
Remember
he was at Atletico even then.
Do you remember him at Monaco?
He's collected.
He's part of that Monaco team with Mbappe, Falcao,
that name sounds like Royston Drentford to me.
90 million.
That's mad.
And he's French national team as well.
That was transfer daily. That was
90 million pounds.
How old is he now?
How many thumbnails did you make?
He must be like 27 now.
Thomas Lemar.
His career is just going to waste.
The hottest thing. He must be just sitting there.
29.
I don't know. I don't follow Atletico. Is he playing good?
He's 29.
29.
That doesn't even surprise me.
I remember that Arsenal link there. That Thomas
90 million.
Lemar.
And do you know what? He's been there for 7 years at Atletico now. Crazy.
Gallagher's there as well, of course,
Yeah,
off the
he
bench
didn't come
off a
on.
sub. No, he came. I think he came on for the bench.
It says here he didn't come on. I know he did, 62 minutes.
Yeah,
for Rodrigo. But that was a good game. And then to really spice things up, and we're going to discuss this properly, Bayern Munich 10, Auckland City 0. Now, goal difference, top of the table, all that stuff in the Club World Cup, yes. But when you're, I don't want to say the word allowing, because it is a Club World Cup. There will be teams from all over the world in areas in the world where maybe football isn't the first sport. But 10-0, what message does that send out? Is it a resounding win for Bayern Munich and we should be heaping praise on them? Or does it almost put a bit of mockery on the tournament itself?
Let me jump in, because we often talk about Champions League, right? And it should just be the champions. So if we're just going by that logic, if you're going with Champions League, just the champions, which is the old format, Cup Winners' Cup and whatnot, people will say, you need to have just the champions of each country and that's it, otherwise you just ruin the quality of the competition. So that means you've got to get the champions from Belarus, you've got to get the champions from all these countries. You're going to see more 10-0 slappings. And then when you try and modernize it or change it and you bring in just the best teams in Europe, which is going to be mainly from the top 5 leagues, top 4, top 5 teams in that country, and then less for the other countries, that is what they're trying to avoid, is those 10-0s. For me, when you saw Auckland City there, you go through their team, semi-professionals, etc., part-timers, you're going to get that. And for me, it's a respect that Bayern Munich paid to them by beating them 10-0. I don't want to see Bayern Munich passing slow, methodical, taking the mick 5-0 up, not even trying anymore. That's the real disrespect. If you want to respect them, you beat them, you score, you go for it every single minute, you go for each goal, you beat them 10-0, and that's the end result. So I don't really have a problem with it, because it is a Club World Cup. You want to see all the teams around the world. That includes New Zealand. New Zealand is part of this world, right? So bring them in.
And you saw the quote from Michael Elise after.
They're not going to take it easy.
Do you feel bad about winning 10-0? He said,
no problem. No problem with that. No problem with Bayern doing their jobs. It's like a boxer, isn't it? Same thing. If a man's not really as good as you, but he's pro and you got to take him out, I've got to go and do my job. You know what I mean? I know it's sometimes a bit different in boxing, because you can not go as hard because it's life or death. But do you get what I'm saying? You got to do your job, yeah. So get them licks, no problem. But I don't know. I slightly disagree with it's just all right to have these men there, only because for me, I think FIFA are trying to sell this to us that this is the pinnacle of club football. It's every 4 years, and it's not like I don't think it's like how like the FA Cup where we're saying like you go into all the lower leagues to find someone. That's the history and tradition of the thing. They're billing this as it's supposed to be the best of the best. Well, you can't have people who aren't even professional there. How does that? I don't understand.
No, but I disagree.
Goalkeeper had to take time off work to
That's
even
what
be
I mean.
there.
I don't think that should be that if you're billing it as that. Someone just won 10-0.
So that league is not as developed, and there's not much money in that. But that's still part of the world.
I agree, with you, Matisse. Right? I think we're being snobbish again here. Right? All right.
How did they qualify to get there then?
They had to win
the same way. Like they have to be the best in your area.
They're the best team, isn't it, in their league, right? And at the moment, right?
10-0.
Yeah, they're miles.
Man.
They're miles off.
There was man tripping over the ball in the second half. I couldn't dribble.
No, listen. You know what? Right? We used to do this.
Charging $300 for tickets.
That's life.
We used to do this.
Now that's the real outrage.
They actually came third.
So they didn't even won.
And there's a team called Birkenhead United.
What? And they're the winners
won
of
the league.
There's
Yeah, but
only
remember
13
the Champions
games.
League winners of this last camp, or you know what I mean? They're not
even there.
It's not making sense
How
of
could-
European.
all right,
Hold
football.
on, wait.
How could Arsenal not be there, but these men who can't flipping do 10
What did
kick-ups
Arsenal
are
win?
there?
What did
How
Arsenal
could
win?
Liverpool not be in there?
Why did you even mention
I'm just saying,
Arsenal?
no, because he's sitting next to me. I'm just saying.
No, the reason
But they
being-
finished. But they
No,
finished
no,
second.
no.
They just finished second 3 times over in our league.
No,
They're
but
the
Okay,
second
but
best
do you
team in
want
England.
a Champions League then? Is that what you want?
What do you mean?
Do you want another Champions League? Because if you bring in more European teams,
The
you're
Champions
just
League
creating
already
another.
ain't even for the Champions. We're already dropping it lower.
That's what I'm saying. But this is the
But
world.
that's too low. Someone won 10-0.
Brother,
10.
Salzburg are there.
Bro, somebody won 10-0.
It happens.
Sunday League set.
10.
It happens. Liverpool beat Man United 7-0. What now?
It's a great point.
What now?
And it should have been-
Why are you here? Why are you here, fam?
Great point.
Leave! What are you doing here?
Still not double figures.
No, what are you doing
Still
here?
not double figures.
They took it easy on you. I
Still
saw
not
them.
double
They
figures.
could have made it 10.
And guess what?
They
In
started
that,
chilling.
guess what? But
They
guess
started-
what? But guess what? In that same season, the reason why we're still there because in the same season,
Wow.
because we're supposed to
Shut
be there,
down.
they didn't finish above man.
Let Auckland play them
They
again.
didn't finish
innit?
above man.
Let
I
Auckland-
guarantee you, Auckland won't score a goal and finish bottom
Let
of the
them
thing.
play them again.
You want to see man
How much you willing to
10-0?
bet?
10-0.
How much?
That's the reason.
Bro, we
because they
could
still
have
didn't
beat you
finish
10-0
above man.
as well that game,
They
man.
beat us 7-0 and it didn't mean anything.
Like, we hit the post
That's
twice
why.
in that game.
They lost 10-0.
Hey, Matisse, you're bad, you know.
Do you know what I mean? Nah.
Hey, look, going back to it, to me,
Drink that water, man.
going back to it, I think we're being a bit snobbish here, right? Because even though they got beaten 10-0, it's still about the best teams, or the teams in the world. They're the best, or must be one of the best teams in their region, right? They should be allowed to play. It used to be the same thing with the World Cup. But then you start to see teams get better because they'll go back, they'll be hurting from this, and maybe that will have a knock-on effect
Auckland will get
for them
better.
to. No, I'm saying that league. They'll
Make
be
them play
like,
them again next year and see if
No,
they
hold
can
on.
lose 10-0.
4 years. 4 years.
listen,
4 years.
Give it
when
time.
I remember back in the day, right? I think it was Zaire, one of them countries, Africa. They got absolutely slapped up, right? There was even one time there was a free kick. It's a famous thing if you go on YouTube and watch it, right?
Oh,
The
against
Zaire
Brazil,
player
when he
sprints out of the
boots it.
line and boots the ball away and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. And at
The ref
that,
books him.
yeah, and at
He
that
doesn't know the
time,
rules.
they were saying, some of these African teams, they shouldn't be allowed in the World Cup. The standards low, the this, the that. Now look, Senegal are rocking up and beating England.
It was
Yeah.
Brazil,
Right?
Zaire.
You've got to allow these teams to play.
And
right?
they get the money from it as well.
Yeah,
That's
and then
massive.
they can start to raise the standards. Yeah, it's a famous thing.
Famous, right?
And after that, they were saying that none of these teams should be allowed to play.
They're
it was the same
waiting to
sort of
take
thing.
the free kick. Man just
didn't
pumps
know
it
that.
away.
Yeah,
Didn't
and
know
he
the
got
rules.
booked. He didn't know the rules properly.
Got a yellow
Right?
card.
So I do feel that, yes, obviously, it's an absolute mismatch.
Great example.
For
that.
now.
But how are these guys going to raise their standards? Maybe that helps them in a way when they see the golf.
Yep.
That they say, actually, they go back and say, we need to get our league together, man. When we get more professional and we get more, but
More than that, it's about the experience. You see the goalkeeper there; he's got to take time off work to play at the Club World Cup. But he said playing against
So then-
Benfica, Bayern, and Porto is worth it.
But
Of
listen,
course. It's
the
like
other
the
day,
memories
right?
and the stories
The other
they'll
day,
take away
what was
from
the
it.
score between England and Andorra?
1-0.
Right, it was 1-0. And back in the day, like probably if you'd have played that game 10 years ago, we'd have won that 10-0.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. That's how
The money has to circulate,
How
man.
are teams going to improve? How are they? Yeah, and each
The money.
team,
There's too much money at this
a
tournament.
lot of
to
these
not
teams,
circulate it.
they're sharing this money, innit?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these teams. So
Yeah.
my thing is, you're going to get some of these. You're going to get some of these games.
Part of the
but-
process, Flex.
All right.
Part of the
Two
process.
players scored hat tricks, didn't they?
Fair enough. Maybe
In
I'm
4
looking
years,
at it wrong
in
then.
4 years
Maybe
that
I'm
would be
looking-
5.
It was a terrible.
That would be
like,
5-0 in 4
Will it?
years. Yeah. 5-0.
It was a terrible. Listen, at
Do
half
you know
time.
what? I was
When I
looking
saw
at the
Elise
spectacle and I
say-
went,
All right.
When
5-1.
Elise scored that
I'm
fifth
going,
goal,
what
I was
about,
like,
I'm
that's
just
it.
saying,
There's no-
after, for me, I just thought, I'll take your points here. I'm saying for me, watching it. The players have had this long ass season. Everything, they're knackered, dead on their feet. Bayern ain't getting nothing out of that. The Auckland players, all right, fair enough. You can actually put that on your CV to tell your grandkids, listen, I did get licks off of Bayern. I was there, played against Elisa. In it, though, you can. I was there, I played against these man. So, which is the magic of the cup or the magic of the club. So maybe I just saw how
Tottenham
bad it was.
You should have stopped watching. That's
and I'm just seeing a guy, and I'm like,
you weren't meant to watch the whole game.
From this?
You weren't meant to watch the whole game.
Bro,
At 5-0, you
but then that defeats the point. Then the club, it's been sold to me, or maybe I've misunderstood what has been sold to me as.
No, you should have looked at all the teams.
Pinnacle, and I'm like, look at the teams that ain't there. You got these type of man there who are going to get licks. But like you said, Liverpool ain't there.
This is the thing.
In
the quarters and in the semis,
it will get competitive.
The quality is gonna be there. But when you go through all the teams that were at it when the tournament was announced, you can see there's some people that are going to be
a golf. Yeah.
Is that an anomaly result?
Like, we won't see that.
We're not going to see that again in this competition now.
Yeah, we probably won't see another 10.
Let's not forget, what was it, 7-1 Brazil,
Germany.
in the World Cup? There have been 7-0.
Spankings happen in football. No one's saying it don't happen.
So we're not giving Bayern Munich any credit then?
No, they can get credit. They've got a good team.
No,
they've got a great team.
Very good
Bayern
team.
Munich are supposed to slap man who don't play full-time 10-0.
Professionalism. That's what I give them credit for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that was one score. A massive score it was. And then there was a Botafogo
beat us 5-1.
Seattle Sounders 1. That was the other game. And then tonight, Matisse, your team enters the fray.
Yes.
Against Los Angeles FC. Olivier Giroud.
Yes.
Coming back to Chelsea and playing
Giroud,
against them. How do you think this one goes 8 o'clock tonight? We're actually doing a watch along for that game.
I'm expecting a win. Obviously, there was a little bit of interesting selections being made for our squad that I didn't really agree with all of them, but the squad on paper is still more than good enough to get through this group and top the group. If we do top the group, which we should, and PSG top their group, which they probably will after spanking Atletico, the toughest team in their group, then we play them in the quarters. And that will be a proper test. Do you know what I mean? For this group, this group that we have. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Liam Delap makes his debut. Andre Santos, I've been raving about him for years now. Since we signed him and I saw him in the first preseason, I just knew this kid was special. And he's going to be back with us. Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg, he's going to be in the defence. It's a shame Kendry Pires isn't in the team because I wanted to see him. Shame that Petrovic is not in the squad. I wanted to see him. But yeah, it's a decent squad for the group. Now, when we get into the latter stages, which I expect us to, there needs to be some changes there because that team won't win it for me. There's not enough there to win it, based upon what I watched last night as well from PSG. You know what I mean? I'd like some more artillery. I'd like some more firepower, if you don't mind. So, but I'm looking forward to the game, man. Looking forward to the game.
Yeah, 8 o'clock kickoff. Flamengo and S Tunis also in your group. And as you say, hopefully, as a spectacle for the person who is flicking through the zone, and maybe you don't flick through the zone, you have to actually click the app to go on it. But you almost want that neutral who's just maybe choosing something to watch. To
all the
like,
games are
this
free.
is a good game.
Everything's free.
Yeah, and that's obviously a big plus, but you want the games to be a bit more competitive, otherwise it does become a bit of a laughing stock. Once you get out of the group,
I think
the South American teams will be very competitive with the Europeans.
I don't think
LAFC will be alright as well.
You think the MLS teams will give the Prem teams?
I'm not sure.
LAFC,
I'm not sure.
I know, like,
they won't. A lot of their players
beat Chelsea, but they're a well-supported team.
Yeah.
They're a well-supported team. They got a lot of South Americans in their team as well. Like teams like LAFC.
How did they qualify? Because they finished 5th.
Well, how did Inter Miami qualify?
Put them all in because everyone needs a fair chance of getting licked.
Yeah, Miami.
Man finished 5th. So Inter Miami thing, all that. You just
that's when you are on that. You're right.
But now we think.
No, but in Auckland's case,
this is my problem. It's not consistent throughout the thing. We keep saying half of it is. It's just a magical football, man. It's wicked. But then we're going, these men.
You need to get Messi in there. Try to get Ronaldo in there.
It's not. Man.
I hear you on that.
It's either one or the other. Right now, it's great. And I'm saying there's a man in there who got 10-0'd. 10-0. Now, there's also a man in there who finished 5th and this. And it just doesn't.
If they deserve to be there based upon they did well in their own continent, I have no problem with that. When you're sneaking into Miami through the back door, that's where I have a problem.
And LAFC, where did they finish?
5th.
5th in the whole.
In the Western Conference.
No, didn't they?
Did they win some sort of MLS?
Maybe
they won the MLS Cup in 2022.
They've won the MLS before.
So that's probably it then, isn't it? That must be it then, isn't it? Yeah. That's the thing as well about it, is you can't look at last season because we know last season is not what it's about. It's about the last 5 seasons.
5 years, isn't it?
So because that's why we're here.
Yeah.
It's not based on last season.
They won it before that, LAFC.
It's based
Haven't they
on
won
the
the
last
MLS
5
before?
seasons.
Yeah, in 2022.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, have you even? When's the last time he was in the Champions League? When you won it? Oh no, then the season.
No,
after,
we won
did
it
you?
the season after as well.
And then
Graham
Real Madrid
Potter.
done that madness.
Yeah,
that one.
Graham Potter.
21.
Benzema won.
22.
21, 22 season.
22.
How are they gonna? What I want to know is how they're gonna do it the next time. How are they gonna work out who's in it from
I
who's
think.
not?
I don't know if they'll change it, but this was the format for this
the way
one.
they're going at the minute, Liverpool and Barcelona still won't be in it because we haven't won any European Cups in the last 5 years. So unless we do that, we won't be in it again. Score prediction: Chelsea, Los Angeles Football Club.
I
thought
will
I'd say
go
that.
with a 3-0 Liam Delap double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kick him.
Just get started. Let's go.
Tell you what, this one will be tasty. Boca Juniors versus Benfica at 11 o'clock tonight.
Oh, that's tasty.
You know the Boca Juniors fans. I mean, they haven't even got. I know they still have hours to go on a flight, but they're in that part of the world, aren't they? Where it's South America to North America. So
No, I'm telling you,
their fans will travel.
They'll turn up.
They will turn up.
They'll
Don't
have the
you
big
worry
support.
about that.
Listen, I remember this was probably about 5-6 years ago. Arsenal played a friendly in LA against this team called Chivas from Mexico. And I'm telling you, like normally when you go America, Arsenal fans will outnumber whoever they play, right? Or you know, you see you at a game, Man United, the fans turn out, yeah. But that's the one game, man, where that Chivas, right? The amount of Mexican man that they brought, they rolled up, man. They was like thousands of them, and like passionate, like flares. It was like being at a. It was like being flares of the atmosphere was crazy. They'll bring a lot of support, man. No, one of those teams could go.
They'll be the best.
One of them
supporting
South
teams.
American teams could go far.
definitely.
The South
Did you see
Americans,
the
because this means a lot to them.
Did you see Palmeiras? All the fans out in Times Square.
But this is their holy grail. South Americans take this
And
competition very seriously.
that's the other thing about this tournament, right? Like everybody, if you followed all the talk last week, is like all the games will be empty.
Yeah.
And there was 80,000 at a PSG game yesterday, and all the other games I saw, there was a lot of fans in those games. They look good attendances so far. So. You know, he's all the scaremongering. Oh, there's gonna be no one there. They've had to like sell all the tickets for
And
like.
I'm not naive. It definitely will. As you know, you get further through competitions. It's just like the new thing with how they extended the Champions League. Obviously, a bit. I don't know, just money, this, that, and the other. But then, when it got past that stage, or towards the end of the group league phase, it was like, oh, people need to win. Real Madrid were in trouble. Man City were in trouble. PSG were even in trouble. So it did make it the spectacle would be. So I do know that as the tournament goes on, it will.
Yeah, I'm just looking at attendances, right? So the first game, 60,000 was at the Miami game. The Palmeiras game, 46,000 against Porto. PSG game, 80,000, right? There was 30,000 at that Botafogo game. And even the Bayern Munich game, that's 21,000. Those are good attendances, man.
Depends on what the capacity was for that Bayern one.
Yeah.
What we
capacity
saying?
was 80,000, 20 is not good.
But I don't know.
New camp, but
I don't know the capacity, but you could see it was a smaller stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, I'll get the capacity.
TQL Stadium.
The TOL stadium, TQL stadium.
What should be like 60,000?
But like 80,000, 60,000 attendances.
I was
Those are
surprised when I
good.
saw the 80k.
Those are good attendances.
But then not really, because they're two teams. That's like the
two
world's
proper
best team.
teams. Yeah.
And obviously Atletico. So really, it's not really those games where people are like, no one's going to go. The other one's in Miami's. Messi. Of course
They did have to drop the prices though.
26,000.
So look, 26,000. So that's not bad, isn't it? 21,000.
Capacity is 26, but it was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Probably
good.
That's
like
all right.
90% full.
Yeah.
That's a good attendance.
So it's
isn't it?
not as bad as they're making up.
For
quite a small
Auckland.
stadium,
Auckland,
man.
remember?
Yeah,
It's
100%.
quite a
But
small
again, the
one.
big draw, people want to go see Bayern. Which is what it is, isn't it?
So
Like you say, when the games start hotting up towards the latter stages,
people will
like,
care then.
Yeah,
There'll be good games.
Yeah,
There'll be good
decent
games.
attendances.
If we have to see PSG Chelsea or PSG Man City, or you have to play against Man City,
Everyone's
or like
watching that.
we're gonna lock it. We'll be like, right.
We will have to play them in the
agree.
quarters if things go how they should.
Speaking of Chelsea, right, they had a part to play in the 400 million that was spent in the first transfer window, which closed last Tuesday. It opens up again tomorrow. But on Chelsea, Maresca has been quoted by saying,
Why'd you say it like that? We only spent 30 million.
well, I'm saying you played a part within it, didn't I?
400 million, and you're trying to bring my
hang on,
club
'cause
into
it was
this.
leading me on to the next
Blood
question.
clot. We spent 30 million on Liam Delap, you
It's
know.
called,
You spent more than us.
Presenter.
Did they not spend more than us? On Verts?
What have you contributed
Hold
to
on
the
a
400?
We put most of it in. We put most of it in.
He spent 100. Hold on a second.
Take it this way, though.
bro, don't even let me, bro. You spent 150 million
I said
euros,
you had
and the
a
way that
lot.
you phrased this is Chelsea had a part to
I
play.
said, speaking of Chelsea,
Yo, it's
right? There's a quote here on my
God.
sheet, so it's all thought of. Really. This is a presenter just leading
what
and
is
driving
going
the conversation.
What's
but
going on?
You want to get a fair. You played a part, and you still will play parts.
It's crazy,
But
right?
speaking of Chelsea, before I was rudely interrupted, Maresca, right, has said this on Chelsea and Mike Maignan. He said, Robert Sanchez is number 1. That smile's gone off your face.
Yeah.
And Philip Jorgensen is number 2. Mike Penders has joined us. Then we'll take a final decision. But Chelsea, according to this sheet, right, don't shoot me here. According to this sheet, Chelsea has spent more than any other club so far.
Yeah.
Splashing out 89.5 to bring in Liam Delap, Dario Esujo, Mamadou Sarr, and Esteval joining after agreeing. So you have played a part.
Esteval was last summer, man.
There's a bit
You
of
know what I mean?
reaction.
We agreed that last summer, so that don't count.
Okay.
Look, yeah, listen, with the goalkeeper situation, I don't like it. I knew we weren't getting that keeper.
You said it.
I said it.
Such a low fee
They
as well. Just
cooked
go
me
get him.
to smithereens.
Why though?
They grilled me. They fried me. You know what I mean? And I said,
you were
yo,
so negative
because
about
I just said, yo, if you're serious about this, you don't put in a valuation of 8 million euros. Do you know what kind of players cost 8 million euros? We go to League One, Sky Bet Championship for 8 million euros. You don't go to France's #1 captain of AC Milan, even with a year left, especially with the lack of quality in this position across the world right now for goalkeepers. You're not going to get better value for money, even with the Club World Cup tax, for this level of keeper if you really want him. I just said you don't really want him. I could tell you don't really want him. This is going to be a journey. It's like Dora the Explorer. We're going to go here. We're going to go there. We're going to go everywhere. And then it's going to break down and it's not going to quite materialize, but we tried. See, look, did we not try? And then all the briefings are going to start. We don't trust Sanchez. Now we do. We don't trust, we don't trust these goalkeepers. Now we do. And then Petrovic, he's just been left out of the squad. I think he's got a release clause, so he'll probably be sold. Because if you're not coming to the Club World Cup, I can't see why you'd have a future at Chelsea.
Even though you wouldn't mind him getting another shot.
I would have loved to have. This is the thing. This was my copium. I said, right, if we're not going to get the keeper, at least let me see Petrovic, because he's had an outstanding season at Strasbourg. He's been the best keeper in Ligue 1. Let's see what he can do now in this tournament. Let's give Sanchez some competition at least. We haven't done that. So that tells me that not only are you probably going to sell him for the release clause or whatever that is, Sanchez is looking like #1. Obviously, there's still another window, but other clubs could come in. You know, PSG, if Donnarumma goes, there's been some talk about him potentially looking for new opportunities. It would not surprise me if they just went and got France's #1 to go to the capital of France. Makes sense.
Let us know in the chat, Chelsea fans, how do you feel about the goalkeeper situation? Do you want someone to come in and really challenge Sanchez and Jorgensen, who did start in the Conference League final? But I agree. I think Petrovic didn't do much wrong to not get the nod of approval. He was doing okay. Mike Penders, what's his role?
He's just there to experience the situation and just show the manager what he can do. He's young. He'll definitely go back out on loan, in my opinion.
Okay.
So yeah, he's talented. So let's
Tell
see.
you what, you got that Mike Mannion one right. You didn't get him, but me and you both got the Verts one wrong. Didn't we?
Yeah.
And we'll take that. I'll take that.
Well, I don't know why I'm spudding you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, because Liverpool don't usually do
strong.
that. You know, Liverpool don't usually go up against other European giants for a player and outbid them and do all that. But well done, you did.
Thank you very much.
Got it
buddy.
done.
And speaking of Florian Wirtz, little segue. Literally 1 minute ago, David Ornstein, Florian Wirtz expected to arrive in the UK later this week. Current plan for the medical is Friday. Before completing the transfer, fee is £100 million guaranteed and up to 16 plus add-ons. 5-year contract with LFC. So Florian Wirtz, willkommen. I was actually speaking to some German guys at the weekend. It's pronounced Wirtz.
Yeah, Wirtz.
Florian Wirtz.
We're not going to. I don't know if we're going to put the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, big him up. He's coming.
I don't know. We actually. I know we know this has happened. I can't remember like you fully like. Yeah, I really like this player. Where's he going to fit in?
How
are you?
that we get him.
Yeah. So how are you actually feeling?
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
Where's he going to play?
Love
How's it going
this.
to work for you? What does it look like for you? Like.
I think it's just such a great option to have him and Szoboszlai, maybe a Curtis Jones in that position. There's creativity there now. With Szoboszlai, yes, he can run. Yes, he can, slot a pass through. But we need that almost Coutinho-esque player. And I think Wirtz does sound like a bit of a mould between a Coutinho-ish kind of creative 10. He's actually taller than you think. He's 5'10", I think. So he's not as small as people think.
I think he might play as like a sort of false 9.
An 8, a false 9, a 10.
I think him and Szoboszlai will play in the same team. I think. I don't think it'll be one or the other.
I spoke the German lad I was speaking to the weekend. He thinks him and Musiala are like neck and neck. He thinks they're both the future of
Gravenberch as well.
Who's holding midfield?
Gravenberch.
I think Wirtz will probably play off the left. Gyokeres will give him the overlap.
He can do that, yeah.
And he'll just come inside like that.
Nice.
He's just versatile, isn't it?
Yeah. He's very versatile.
I just look at it.
Good signing.
Better problems for them.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
That's a great sign.
Bro, the guy presses as well, you know.
Yeah.
I was looking at his pressing numbers, bro. The guy presses. Him and Szoboszlai pressing off the ball.
He actually won the ball back the most times in the Bundesliga in the final third last year.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. I think I just want to see him play now.
Yeah.
You know, like the preseason comes, the transfer. I just want to see him play. I'm going to Hong Kong for the AC Milan game.
Oh, are you?
So let's get a little debut in there for Florian Wirtz. Big him up.
Wirtz.
Staying on Liverpool, Real Madrid and Marca. They're getting the old cog out again, aren't they? Old Marca.
Well, you said this was the old cog out when it was.
Yeah, but it's not just me. It's him.
Another one.
Right.
It's him now.
Another one.
We get it on the screen here, right? Marca are aware of the fact that Ibu Konate still has 1 year left on his contract. They're hoping to nick him on a free once again. And not just him, also Miles Lewis-Skelly. But this is what Marca do, Robbie, right? They chuck a few articles out, people aggregate them on Twitter, and all of a sudden it's fact. And all of a sudden they break you down over a year, they wind you down, and then you go to Madrid on a free, and they're bullying us again.
Can I ask a question?
They're trying it again.
I've actually got multiple questions. So, one, is Konate allowed to learn Spanish in this period? Yeah?
No.
Does he already know it?
Does he already
Is
know
it
it?
something that
He's already bilingual,
Vamos.
so he'll know a
Two,
few words.
if he does leave, is he allowed to speak about it, or would you prefer him not say anything, publicly?
I think Liverpool.
3, should he sign a new deal now to protect against this, to
Yes, that's
preserve
what
value
he
for
should do.
LFC?
And if he
Should
does
he be doing
go,
that?
is he a
That's what he should do.
traitor?
Yeah.
No, because he's not a scout.
Should he not start the season until this is clarified? Until there's a new deal on the table? Should Ibu, should Connie, should Nate, whatever you lot call him, lad, should he be banned from playing until this is clarified?
I think Liverpool take this situation like a bull on the horns, and they say, if you think we're allowing you to walk away like Trent did for free again last season, there's no.
Can I just tell you something that I told you a year ago?
Listen,
it's not in your control.
No, but I'm saying this is what Liverpool.
You're
should
making
do.
demands
I'm saying
again.
this is what
It's not in your
Liverpool should do.
control.
How's he going into the last year, man? That's
Again.
mad.
I
Again,
know.
the directors.
Konate.
That's the people that you need to
You know
be
he's
putting
on
blame
80
on.
at the
4
minute,
key
80K.
players flex. 1 year left.
Where's
Yeah,
the
he's
like
hard on any piece.
150 easily a week?
Whoa.
Easily.
He's on low wages. Real Madrid are going to come through, kick
But
the door
can
down
we
and
just
say,
talk
doing what
leave
they
on a
do
free, we'll give
again?
you
Why
350
do
back a
Liverpool?
week.
Because
They
when this was
always do this,
Arsenal,
man.
we were back in the 2000s. Nasri and Van Persie. and
Not Real
we
Madrid,
were
though.
giving them but just the
Adebayor.
fact that
I'm
they
saying
allowed it.
specifically Marca. They do
No,
this
but
a year before.
why
They
are
go
you
on, like,
allowing?
see when everyone's contract
No, but no.
finishes and start writing the articles.
Why are you allowing your players to get down to a year left? That is idiocy.
Whoa.
Of course, you're tempting fate.
I spoke with Doyle about this morning on Hot Topics. That is now the new priority. I know we've locked down Virgil, Mo, Alisson is going to sign an extension as well. But that has to get locked down now, Konate. We have to lock that down as soon as possible to not be in this situation.
Hun, you gotta learn.
You know what, right? I'll tell you what,
We have
like,
to learn. And if he goes again, more for us.
discuss
more for
this-
us, because
discuss
that's
this.
our prerogative now.
I discussed in my Transfer Daily show today, like with the Miles Lewis-Skelly one, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think, they've been talking to him about a new deal because obviously he's burst through, and he's on a short-term deal because he's just a youth, isn't it? Yeah. But he will be signing a new deal at Arsenal, so I'm not scared of him leaving. But what it is very, very smart at the moment by Real Madrid,
Bullying.
right? Well, it's not bullying. I think they've got a smart.
Marca, do a few articles.
They've got a very smart transfer tactic where they leverage the name of Real Madrid.
Yep.
It's smart. So they've done it with Trent. They've done it with Mbappe. Two players that ordinarily you'd have to pay a king's ransom to get.
Yep.
They've been able to say to him, yo, just run down your thing. And you could come to us. And then all they didn't have to pay is high wages. But that is nowhere near having to pay the transfer fee. So they're very smart. They're exploring everybody who's got like a year left.
Brilliant business.
Of a high quality. And then they're just saying, right, we are Real Madrid.
We're supposed to hate Real Madrid.
So we will
Plus
leverage.
the badge tax.
Yeah.
The badge tax, I'm going to come for you for
Smart.
free in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
5 years.
So
I'll do it.
smart.
Do you know what it is as well? They're not even paying.
They're leveraging the name.
They're not even
it's smart.
I don't think they even paid Trent as much wages as Liverpool was going to pay. They said to Trent, listen, this is our wage budget,
We
it's our
offered
structure.
325.
Man will fit.
You fit
don't
into
worry,
that.
I'll fit.
Don't worry, I'll fit. I'll make it
Not
work.
like Sancho.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
leave
true.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
but with your Adidas deal, with your little BMW stuff.
Bro, you're playing
Yeah.
for Real
Your
Madrid
wages
tax.
up.
See, look,
Everything's going to go
Yeah, you
up.
see,
Commercial thing, everything.
even you see, is the
Please.
clothing sponsor now, Louis Vuitton. So even you ain't
Yeah.
got player ain't even got to
Louis
buy your
Vuitton.
bags no
Yeah.
more. That's sorted. Hey, listen,
All
and
them
then-
Louis you was buying thing. Don't worry about it.
Free now.
Don't worry.
What you want, man? Nano, Speedy Nano.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
one? Monogram. Which one? Which print?
Yeah.
Trent, come in here. Tell me what print you
Can I
want.
just,
What
can
size
I
is it?
just
You want
say,
the early 90s print? You want the 2000s print? You want Gen Z print? You want the Mickey Mouse thing? We got new print, any
New
kind of
colourways as well.
New colorway, everything.
Hey, listen.
You want a
so
BMW?
they're leveraging the name.
let's
This
not
is
be
brilliant business.
And you know what? Let's not be
BMW.
hypocritical. If this was any one of our clubs taking the best players in the world for free, flexing muscles like this, the way we would be parading,
Oh, my
the
days.
crown that is in this set would be on your head. There is no way you would not be flaunting and flashing this.
But honestly,
so you just have to just respect.
If-
Just- yeah, you
I-
just respect
honestly, like if Liverpool was ever to let this happen again, I mean,
they'll be right.
it's interesting because now Liverpool fans can see this and see
We can almost foreshadow what's.
how
what
is
Real Madrid want to
Konate's deal
happen
not
here.
been? How is Konate running into a last year?
Again?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why.
We
Because
can
the
double his
previous
contract quite easily.
But the previous
as well.
year, remember, the previous year had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. So maybe they were
Yeah,
looking at it and thinking,
make
I
sure.
don't.
Maybe
And this
it's
is why.
Liverpool saying
This is
we
why when
could-
we
can
say
we do
players
better?
look out for themselves because
Clubs
maybe
do.
Liverpool maybe looking, don't know, man. This guy's injured a lot. Maybe I don't know about that.
Hato's there. Or...
Now he's had a good season. Now you know now they want to get him. But so this is why players also think about their futures as
that
well.
10-year deal for Caicedo is looking alright right now.
That's it. Lock him in. I'm not gonna lie,
Amortization.
man.
Who's laughing now?
Like, especially like with the field that we're all in now, yeah. And you end up. What's really been really eye-opening to me on a personal is like speaking to ex-players, like in person, and like and
You get a different
some
perspective.
current players as well. I spoke to some current players in the Premier League, and when you get that insight of like the job side of it, I'll be honest, I think it makes it easier. As much as we're all passionate, every single one of us passionate fans. But it makes it easier to understand like
100%.
what actually happens. Like even the Sancho thing, I know the thing, like the banter and the whatever, that's like, we're always going to do that. But when I strip it back, I'm not mad at him for saying, nah, you know what? I've got a year left at United on these Ps.
Yep.
Why the hell would I fit into Chelsea's budget and take 60k less or whatever? This is Manchester United's problem, brother. I'm going to go back there, and here's what's going to happen. You either find me another loan while you pay that half and they pay that half, so I'm still on my 220.
Yep.
Or you sell me to wherever I'm going to go. Yes, I'll negotiate less terms on my next contract. I'm not stupid, but then you pay me
pay
out
the
what I
difference.
should have paid.
Yep.
Why? This is not my problem. Versus people on the internet are going to say, Sancho, you clown, and put memes of me because I'm not playing or whatever. This peas. It's my job.
Man United's
Got
fault.
a little warning for you on them long-term contracts. Yeah.
Go on.
Lamar. Thomas Lamar, as you just
that was
said.
a big deal,
Right. He's still with it. How many years you said he's been
Well,
there?
he's been there 7
Did he
years.
sign a big deal? I think
He
he signed a big
8-year
deal.
Oh, but because instead of going Arsenal at
Man's,
the time, he signed
didn't
a
work
man's
out.
riding out the whole thing, bro.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah.
It's the risk that you take.
But listen, Flex, you're spot on, right? And this is why these players, they've got to look out for their futures as well.
And do you know
As
what?
soon as you're like as soon as like you said, injuries or they think
Yeah.
there's an opportunity to get maximum money out of you. I've spoke to a player, they're like, listen, might not play this week because certain amount of appearances. If I get that and we get Champions League, so they're saying, say you got car strain because we won't pay you that.
Yeah.
All them kind of
like-
when I've been serving the team all the way through the year. Everything wicked. And the man said, they said
It's like
don't turn
Nunes.
up.
If Nunes started one more game for Liverpool in the running, we'd have to give Benfica 5 mil.
See?
So he didn't start for
So
the
he's
last
not
10
getting his
games.
bonus, and then that will probably come with extra bonuses for him.
Yep.
Where you can look on that and say,
Yep.
"Yo, it happens all the time." So when it comes to it, of course, we're all emotionally attached. Like if Kobe Mainoo was running down his contract and went to Real Madrid, oh man, it hurts, man.
You get it now. You said the story. I saw
That's
your
what I'm
video
saying.
the other day.
I see it. You have
more
to
now.
take. You have to take your fact. It's hard for us because we're
Yeah.
emotionally invested, but it's a job to these
And
guys.
speaking
man.
of Liverpool defenders, right, with a final year of their contract, Andy Robertson, a astonishingly linked now to Atletico Madrid. I was playing football in Holland. I didn't even see this. Turned my phone on after. I've gone, hang on, what?
Is that astonishing though?
Looks like
I think it is.
I think that's a fantastic.
And I think that's actually a disservice to Robertson that we think it's astonishing, because why shouldn't he want to go on? And you look at Kieran Trippier, right? Pretty much done and dusted for Tottenham. Goes over to Atletico. I mean, him and Simeone cracked like that. They loved each other. Wins the league, comes back, still has a few good years with Newcastle, wins a trophy. And I think because he's been so consistent, and I don't think it's helped him being like the Scottish lad as well, because he's British. And it's like he should just retire at Liverpool now. He's cost us 8 mil, what a servant. He now has the opportunity, if he wants to go and play for Simeone. And I actually think, looking at that partnership, them two would get on.
Yeah, but what about the decline in him as well?
Wait, hold on. So how many years has he been at Liverpool? Andy
Don't
Robertson?
try and compare this to Trent, though.
No, I am comparing.
I could already
because
see what you were doing.
No,
I could
because
see the little cogs in
No,
your
no,
head
because
there
I'm
going,
sitting
"Oh,
there
hang
and
on a
I'm
minute."
sitting here and I'm listening to you, right? And it's
this
all
is
right
so
now.
boring now, man.
It's all right now
Can't
for
be
him
asked
to go.
anymore, bro. Look at him.
Because
No,
he's
but
not-
hold on.
he's
You're
not good
obsessed
anymore.
with Trent.
He's
you
no
know.
good. No,
The amount you
no,
mention
what-
Trent is scary.
No, because this is
Restraining
just what
order
you-
setting.
This goes to what you're saying.
Baby
Because
reindeer for Trent.
He's
you are.
31 now,
You're mad,
right?
man.
So now it's all right for him to go, even though he's also served great servant. You just said. But it's all right for him
try
now
this,
to go.
you're obsessed,
Yeah, off
man.
you go.
You're obsessed
to
with
Simeone.
Trent.
No,
Not
I'm
everything
saying,
goes back
Just
to
discard
Trent,
him.
bro.
What's the
We
difference?
saw you got cooked by
Madrid
Saka
game.
and that. You're not really.
What's the
yeah.
difference?
Going Madrid.
A big difference, bro.
Him and Trent.
And he's going
Madrid.
Madrid.
He's going Madrid.
They would be friends.
But if he spoke
everyone's
Spanish now,
saying
it'd be not a
enough.
problem.
Everyone's saying enough with Trent now. Come on.
No, but
Enough with Trent. You're obsessed. You bring him up every.
that's all. I'm
whenever-
not everyone. I am saying, I am drawing.
But everyone's
I
saying
know
it.
about everyone. I'm
I'm
not
drawing
everyone.
a comparison now, right? Because
But there is no comparison
You're just
to
saying,
make.
be off with you. We're done with you now.
Robbie,
used up.
Robbie, he's past his prime. Trent's in his prime. There's a massive, massive glaring
How long's he
difference
been-
that you're
how
not.
long-
I agree with that. I know. I agree with that point.
How long's he
Because
been-
I was saying
Don't-
actually,
Stop-
don't have
stop
the sentiment
reaching,
thing.
Stop
you should
reaching.
learn.
Stop
I'm not
reaching.
reaching. How
No, you
long's
are.
he
You're
been there?
reaching.
He's been there.
You're
They've
reaching.
both been served.
We bought him from Hull for 8 million, Rob. You're comparing him to someone who's been there for 20
Trent was
years
free.
and said that he wanted to be
Trent
the
never cost
captain,
nothing.
rode his deal down to the last second. He's probably looking to leave because Gyokeres is going to replace him.
No, Trent got them 10 million. Don't forget Club World
Exactly.
Cup.
Which is more than the 8 million that they were going to get. Free.
So wait, Trent
but
put
we
them,
paid
hold
8
on, hold
million
on,
for it.
hold on. Trent put
We
them in
paid 8
profit.
million.
Robertson's gonna put them what, break even?
No, break even.
Blood clot.
No, I
But
feel
no.
like you've got to stop pushing the Trent thing.
He's
now.
old
Just leave
knackered
it.
now, you know what I
Just
mean?
leave
Instead
it.
of sending him
Nah,
out to
you
the
lot are
field.
wicked.
I still want him to stay.
You lot are
I
dreads.
still want him to stay. I don't think.
But I think that's a great move for him though.
I don't.
100, I'm with AGT on this one.
No, it's
yeah.
a good
You-
move, it's a good
You
move.
actually have to look at it from Robertson's point. Let's be honest, he's declining. He's declining.
That's why
his level's
quote
still high.
unquote, shocked.
Yeah, like
That's why I'm
Gyokeres
like,
is
wow,
it's the right
it's a
move
great
for Liverpool
him.
to go and invest heavily in his successor. Successor. Yeah,
Successor,
yeah.
Gyokeres will be a brilliant signing.
It'd be
And
like
when
Robbo
you're
from 8
him,
years
you
ago.
go, at my age, do I want to just be at Liverpool, achieve everything, legend at this club? Do I want to like see the young kid Gyokeres and just come in when needed to give the kind of experience because I love it here?
That would be why I'd want him to
whole
stay,
new,
though.
but yeah,
Yeah,
which way you want to?
Or he could go to Atletico
New
for free
challenge,
next
yeah.
year.
But now for money. What do you mean?
I'd
for
rather
free.
keep him for
Now
a
he's-
season though, for that experience of
Now
having
he-
that.
Oh,
Now
you
you
see
want
what?
man-
Yeah, but would you
now you want man to go
blame
on a
him?
free?
Would you blame him if he said, "I don't want to do that now. I still feel good.
Yeah.
I can go and challenge for La Liga."
Also,
now.
do you know who Robbo's agent is? Trent's brother.
Is it?
He's got to say.
You're joking.
And Henderson as well. So
What? Hold on. Wait. Whoa. Trent's got a few Liverpool. Trent's
That's
brother's got a few
crazy.
Liverpool man.
Watch this man speak perfect Spanish as well.
Scottish and Spanish.
watch him have Andy on the back of his shirt as well, and not
Robbo.
Robertson. Who just have Andy with
Robertson,
the accent on the end.
Robertson is
I've
seeing.
changed my name to Andalino.
Robertson is seeing what happened with Trent. He's
You're-
saying, "I'm
you're
gonna get you
bad-minded,
money
though.
this
Look at
summer.
you, man.
I ain't gonna wind my contract down and go on a free like you just."
Well, if
just
his
said.
agent's Trent's brother,
No,
then
I'm
that's
gonna
going to be the
get- I'm
advice.
gonna
innit?
get money right now.
Is
so
his
there's
agent Trent's
There's no
brother?
confusion. I'm gonna get money for Liverpool Football Club this summer. Don't talk
That's
about.
why Ruth
You know what I
defended
said?
him.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
change
true.
your name on the
That's
back
why
of your shirt.
Hendo went to
Andalino.
Saudi.
Yeah, if he gets you, how much?
Andalino on the
How
back
much
of his
is
shirt.
how much is Robertson worth?
Good.
He's got a year left.
Or
He's
wages. I think he's on.
No,
like
no,
200.
no. What is his? What should he be? What's market value for
10 mil.
Robertson? 10
Yeah.
mil at this age?
Yeah.
Is that about right?
All right,
Yeah,
31.
10 mil.
Achieved everything.
But
Yeah.
people online are talking like he's gone already. I still think
Yeah, it's
there's
a
a
rumour.
twist in the tail here. I think Liverpool. I'd love to think that he stays at Liverpool this season. But when I saw that, and I think
They're not going to
of
keep him on a
Atletico,
£200,000.
Simeone, I think he'd work out really well out there. I'll be honest.
He's Roberto now.
Simeone would love him. No,
Roberto.
he's just Andy.
Roberto free.
Yeah.
Roberto
Funny,
Carlos.
funny story. Actually, the other day I saw your let your player cross the road.
Who?
What's his name? Harvey Elliott.
Where?
I was driving through Wilmslow. Obviously, a lot of footballers live there.
Oh, in Manchester, up them ways.
Yeah,
Cheshire,
Cheshire, kind of Cheshire way. Loads of footballers live there, and I was stuck in a bit of not traffic, but the just natural thing.
Yeah.
And I said to Josh, I goes,
letting him go as
"It's
well.
Harvey Elliott." Letting him go, I shouldn't let him cross
go.
the road either.
Why?
So say, yo, go around the back bridge.
But they're letting him.
He's with Mrs. Go for that.
By the way,
Oh, he gets over me.
that's again.
His dog.
Nah.
No, but Flex. By the way, when we talk about
he's another one.
When we talk about the other side of football, that guy, a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
They're from Fulham, went there. Liverpool
Harvey
fan. They're letting him go
Who?
because they're getting Verts and all these men.
How do you know?
Elliott's going this season, isn't he?
What, have you got that confirmed, have you?
What do you think? Do you want to put a bet on it?
Well, he's either going
going.
somewhere
You know
or
he's
he's just
going.
not
I
going to
don't
play.
think no,
Whichever
think
one.
he's
You're saying
Pick your
it like
poison.
he's definitely a million.
Even no minutes
going.
or
I don't
new
think
club.
It's 100%.
He's going, don't he?
I don't.
The likelihood
I don't
is
think 100%.
The likelihood
is
is he will go, though, isn't it?
well, if that's your source, then you know.
Is there going to be any banners and all that for him to stay?
It's actually
Yeah.
boring now, though.
No, but I'm just like,
It's kind of not boring. I
it's
still
not
find it
boring
funny.
because we're just
Boring,
trying to
bro.
make a point, isn't it?
Yeah, but you've made your point. He's not my player anymore.
I'm just asking.
So
Get
rolling. Get rolling.
Elliot, your question. Elliot is your player.
I love Harvey Elliott. Love him. I've interviewed him before.
The guy said he wants to stay. I love Liverpool, he says.
Yeah. So let's do everything we can to keep him there because I think he's an excellent midfielder.
But-
and if he does go, we'll be regretting that in 2 or 3 years.
But he could be going, though, innit? They may get
Potential.
It
Well,
may be.
Dortmund looking at him in the January.
Yeah, he
It
said
may
no,
be.
yeah.
It may be
Said
the
no to
fact
Brighton,
that
Wolves,
even though he loves,
Maybe back to Fulham.
even though he loves Liverpool and everything, the fact of the matter
hate him
is that
Oh, yeah,
they,
boo.
the owners, now they're bringing in Verts and that, they want him to leave
Just
for the money. innit?
please, brother John Henry. I know you've got your checkbook
Football,
out.
innit?
I don't want to distract you whilst you're spending. I'm all for it. Big up to you. But please, let's not do the whole contracting again. Get Ibu Konate signed up and keep Andy Robertson. And if
Harvey
we have
Elliott?
to sell him next season for free,
And
I'm
Harvey?
okay with that. And Harvey, keep Harvey.
Okay.
Keep Harvey.
You're like Klopp, aren't you? Very emotional. Very attached.
These are my boys, though, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not the ruthlessness
but
that
actually,
we need,
they're
though,
not
is it?
just my boys. They're very good footballers as well. And I'd
Yeah.
like them to stay.
If you want to do back to back, you got to be more ruthless. I'll
But
be
like you,
honest.
where's that get you?
We did back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll try to do that then. Bring me another trophy. Come on, you Blues, says Juno. So Michael Oliver says, Uncle Ma. Rah.
What?
People calling you Uncle now.
Bruv.
You're like 26 or something. The hell?
I'm 28. But still.
Fair enough. We got a couple of years tax. Matisse, what's more embarrassing? Auckland losing 10-0 or Arsenal getting battered 10-2 on aggregate in consecutive years? That's a good point. Levels. Right, what should you think about that? Plan D and Nkunku, deadline day, another Chelsea reject, says Gotti. Would you take Nkunku, deadline day?
No.
If you're desperate?
No.
Yeah, you would.
Although in Kunku, I was
Took Raheem
surprised.
Sterling.
It surprised me how bad he's been at thing. Maybe it's just a position thing and that, but
I think
it's
you
not-
can
it's
revive
not-
him.
It's not what we need.
All right.
It's not what we need. But he came in with a big rep.
Bro, I wanted him
He's
when
a
he
good
came
player,
in.
you know.
Yeah.
He's just like the Chelsea thing.
Do you know what? Do you know? I've got a story about
done
that.
that. He needs to go back to
When
Bundesliga.
somebody was with Todd Bowley,
Yeah.
and he was like bragging and boasting how he just signed him. When you lot signed him, it was a big signing.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was tearing it up in
Leipzig.
Leipzig.
Yeah, front two.
Yeah, which
No, he was
worries me
good,
about
man. He
that.
was
So it
France.
worries me with
He was
Sesko
going to be.
thing. Because he was tearing it up.
No,
yeah.
he's good.
He was going to be in the World Cup squad for France, and then he got injured, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's not really recovered from the injury.
no,
I like
he's just done now.
Just hasn't worked there.
Done.
Carnage says United can have the Swedish bodybuilder and take Benjamin Tesco whilst you're at it as well. We need Isaac or Osimhen. Clara Bitsy. Who's she coming for today? Oh, is it you, mate? Really? Matisse, when discussing tactics, sounds like Pep. But when it comes to showing it on the pitch, he is a prime Akinfenwa. Guy couldn't get past level 2 robo.
It depends on the day.
Oh yeah, because you played at Stamford Bridge, didn't it?
Yeah.
Is that what she's talking about?
No. That's not seen the light of day. That footage. She's talking about RoboCop.
I did see that.
I
Penalty.
just hadn't eaten all the meals.
RoboCop?
I had the
They're the robo keeper.
Oh, yeah.
They were in South Africa and you have to.
Oh
score
yeah. Oh,
against-
you did. Yeah.
Hey, I've
There's
tried.
You know them
levels,
little.
levels.
Them
No, but
little,
they move so
hard to
fast.
score
That's
past
You know
why.
them little supplements, them energy little.
Yeah.
I didn't have one of them.
Oh wow, what did you
Before-
do? Miss the target complete? What did
Yeah,
you do?
just got knocked out.
It's
in
hard to
level
score
2.
past that keeper.
I got knocked out before
Over the
Toby.
bar.
You know how bad Toby is.
Wait, who won it? Turkish.
Yeah,
Turkish.
Turkish.
Big him up, man. It's great finishes. Bomba Clark, Matisse, remember what Flex said about Sancho? Cook him Ras.
Do you remember what Flex said about the Europa League in general? Just about winning it.
We
and
are going to
everything.
win this.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And then just
There's a whole load of
come
things
back.
for you lot to remember what I said. So
Yeah,
bring
we'll
them.
get-
Bring.
Come back
bring.
from Bilbao
By the way,
empty-handed.
I listen. Bring what you need to bring.
Bring what you bring.
I will receive.
8,000 of you watching, just higher than 8,000, and there's only 902 likes, Robbie. This content we're giving
It's
you.
a disgrace, isn't it?
Some more likes, please.
Oh, come on, man. Get them likes up, people. AGT, you are not our European rivals. Paul never be on Madrid level. You lot... Oh, a local Madrid fan then. You lot keep calling it a rivalry. We call it a recurring reminder of who's boss in Europe. Big up to Ash. What is more deluded? LFC fans saying Salah is better than Henry, or Laurie saying Arsenal are bigger than Arsenal, and Ty saying Arsenal are bigger than Real Madrid? I'll probably go with the last two. Bigger than Liverpool and Real Madrid, apparently. Arsenal.
That's just wild.
Yeah.
When did Laurie say that?
Yesterday, apparently.
Did he?
Yeah, on the stream.
Must be
Red Square, Robbie. The problem with the player that doesn't want to come to your club is the toxicity that comes with it. If they have some bad form, they don't get the backing from the fans. It does matter big time.
It happens to every big club, man. I mean, come on. It's pressure, called pressure.
Yeah, when money's on the line. Robbie, is there any exclusive news dropping on Transfer Daily, says Clara Bitsy?
Not today. Nothing exclusive.
Any day?
Keep it locked.
Keep it locked.
Keep
You're
it
clever.
locked.
You're good. Don't give your
Keep
cards
it
away.
locked.
It's good. It's good. Confused anaconda snake. Interesting word.
I've actually heard a few things, actually.
All right. Well, save it for AFTV, yeah?
Yeah.
You can always give us a couple exclusive on here if you want as well. You know. All right. 5 o'clock we've got a show on here, do you remember? So we'll save
He's
it
like
for them.
Fabrizio when he goes onto other people's channels.
Yeah, just forgets how to speak.
I don't have exclusive. Nah.
If I speak, I'm in
Nothing
trouble.
for you.
As per.
as per my tweet.
Chelsea need Hugo Ekitike and another left winger
United
because
for Hugo
Mudryk
Ekitike,
needs a
apparently.
bone marrow transplant to complete his
It's a
B
lot of money,
sample.
yeah.
Too much money, but the talks are there.
Mamo says Big Matisse and Don spitting facts. They shouldn't be patronised now because they lost 10-0. It was a fair game. They're the best club in the region and they deserve to be there. Matisse killed it with the 7-0. Only 3, then 10-0, says Warbelly. Big up. Flex, grow some hair on your head before you act like a knob, says Mr. Butter.
Very mature. Very mature.
Clara Bitsy, Robbie, you seriously think Arsenal would get either Rodrigo or Leao? Expressions was correct. You need to wake up and stop playing FC 25 manager mode, says Clara
Well, no,
Bitsy.
he was expressions of saying that we won't get any of these players. We won't get any of like Sesko, Zubimendi's, this, that. Well, we will get some. Do you know what I mean? Listen, just chill. But the same way, I remember when we got Rice, everyone was cussing. Oh no, he's going City, blah blah blah.
All right. Tabiso says Flex's argument is the same nonsense that used to be said about African teams. The snobbery is disgraceful. Can't wait to see Mamelodi Sundowns. SP says looks like United will try and go for Ekitike. Thoughts? It's United, Chelsea, and Liverpool that are in for him. Good player, as we know. Conte got loaned for a month to play in the Club World Cup. Joke says freestyle. And Kyan says England versus San Marino World Cup qualifier 10-0. Netherlands versus Malta 8-0. Flex not watching a lot of matches for sure. Alex says the messages should now be the message should be how underdeveloped and financed the OFC region is. When Australia went full professional 20 years ago, they moved from OFC to AFC. Auckland FC deserve to be there as OFC Champions League winners. This is a tournament for big European teams called the UEFA Champions League. Why is the Chelsea guy so snobbish?
Oh no,
Says Erich. They sold all the assets, the women's team, cooked books with 8-year deals, funds frozen, UEFA probe, so shady. They cheat like Mudryk. Juiced guys can't talk to real athletes.
he's rattled.
Are you a juiced guy?
He's rattled.
Yeah, it does sound a little bit. That Chelsea guy. I hate it when they do that. They know you.
They know exactly
They
who I
watch
am.
the show every week. You know what I mean?
I don't know
That
who you are.
Liverpool guy, I think his name is. It's like, come on, bro.
Few things in there though. He makes a point.
Hey, I was being
some
sarcastic, man.
Some little
You sell that hotel.
dodgy juggling.
Dealings.
I'd like to ask Clara about some of those things. Not Matisse to answer them. Clara, right? Because she's always got so many comments on Arsenal. Answer some of those, Clara. Read that again.
So,
to Clara this time.
they sold all their assets, Clara. The women's team,
He's
Clara.
always on to Clara.
They
man.
cooked the books for 8-year deals,
Oh,
Clara.
jeez.
They frozen funds, Clara. And there was that old UEFA probe, Clara. It's so shady, Clara. And there's juice guys, Clara. right? Like Mudryk. So chat to us about the amortization and if you're going to be in trouble in a few years. Anyway, must move on. We have a great relationship with Liverpool. They're our dear friends, Fiorentino Perez. I hate that, get out of here.
There are dear friends is crazy.
Honestly, that is disgusting.
After the last 2 Champions
Little
Leagues
bro.
and then after that.
And Trent was at fault for one of them. Trent was at fault for one of them trophies he was looking at the other day.
Yeah, he said, I remember growing up watching Real Madrid win.
Yeah.
He couldn't have mean the period when he was playing. He couldn't have. There must have been a time when he was actually growing up when he was like 10. When Real Madrid won 3-0.
Didn't we agree?
No, because actually they weren't that successful in
their
it.
previous Galacticos, they didn't win it.
Was against us.
So Trent would have been watching Beckham, Roberto Carlos.
What you got
Guti.
Didn't we agree not to talk about Trent?
So skip the super chat.
And you just brought it up.
All right, well, the next super chat is Don Robbie is Gegenpressing that Trent agenda, says Red Square. Opinion on 40 mil plus Fabian Vieira for Rodri Mora. He's a baller, says Prince Brandon. Face Off says, I'm starting to think Robbie is just a well-nourished Thai.
Good one.
Nah, Rob, you can't be making new bets about Harvey Elliott. Pay up to X. You owe peas.
You know how much money that
you
guy
6
owes
foot
me?
Taiwan.
Hey, listen,
says
I'm just making a point on the Harvey Elliott thing. That,
no, don't deflect. Where's the peas?
what piece?
Rice and
You
peas.
owe Expression some money.
Huh?
I see you brought your guy here the other day to get that.
The bailiff come for me.
The bailiff.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're just distracting us.
Dealt with the bailiff, you know what I mean?
AGT, have that idiot Robbie do Transfer Daily on the COP TV since he seems to know everything about Liverpool's transfers.
I'm just saying that it's
good
you know,
point.
whilst
Very good point.
studying the rumours, I did see that Harvey Elliott has been linked with a heavy move.
I don't know why you lot
Now,
don't
if
do
it
that.
doesn't
Take
happen,
studying rumours with
why don't you lot do
quotation
that?
marks, by the way.
if it doesn't happen,
Robbie
fair
should
enough.
genuinely
I'd
do
have that.
a transfer day, not every day, just
That's a good idea.
one piece on the COP TV, just chatting waffle
And I'll go on
about
yours.
Liverpool's targets.
I go, hold on,
And
wait a
doing it
minute.
in
You
serious-
Liverpool fans in the chat.
Yeah, serious
I've heard
face.
that Harvey could be off. What are you lot saying in the chat about that?
Let me tell you something. Yeah?
That'd be so
I'll tell you
jokes.
one thing. If Harvey
on the
Elliott
radar.
leaves Liverpool this summer, I'm coming. All of you lot out there, I'm coming for you, man. I'll tell you, right?
Why?
Because
What's
'cause he
your
might
agenda?
leave.
all I know
might
is
His
that
agendas.
I
You're
ain't
not
got no
saying he
agenda.
definitely won't leave, are
So I
you?
haven't got an
No,
agenda.
he might leave.
I'm just
But
saying.
the way he's going on, it's like
I'm not making an
he's
agenda.
involved
All
in
I'm
the
making-
deal
If he leaves
himself.
now, he's going to be unbearable. He's going to go, and all you lot say, he's going to go
Listen,
mad.
I'm not making an agenda. All I was doing was I was making a point that we only look on it. What your point? Where we only look on things one way, which is I get it from a fan's point of view, where we're looking at Trent and how he's left and what he should have. Why didn't he get us some money and all that sort of things? Then on the other hand, you have a player like Harvey Elliott who's desperate to stay at Liverpool. But the fact of the matter is that the guys at the top, I'm not on about the fans, they would rather him leave and get the money.
Like Fabregas did to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no. That's
Exactly. I'm not. It's not a comparison thing. I'm just talking about
We'll
the
have a
reality.
push in the pool, can't
These
we?
are the realities of football. This is why, when you lot are going on about Trent and having a go at him, he's a rat and this and that. He's not really a rat.
Okay.
It's,
No, in your
it's
opinion.
the business of football.
RSV says, if rivals want Arteta to stay at Arsenal is telling, kind of like when all rivals wanted United to keep Moyes, OGS, Eric Ten Hag, knowing they're all crap. Rudy can't game. It's my birthday, and I'm enjoying DR Sports this morning on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Big up.
Big up to you, Rudy. I would prefer doing things, says Clara, via loopholes, which is open to interpretation, Robbie. But what I would
you have
not
teeth.
like is the club mascot being laid off during crisis, like what happened to poor old
Listen,
Gunnosaurus.
so basically, what you're comparing a
harsh.
club mascot being laid off right during times of COVID to your teeth, right?
The teeth in
teeth in
hotels
about
and whatnot.
loopholes, right?
Crazy.
Teeth.
Wait,
fraud.
what?
It's like that. It's like that. You know that meme where
Yeah.
the guy. Have you seen that one? Where the guy goes, "There is nothing wrong with corruption.
Yeah.
As long as I am involved." Oh, that's Chelsea.
That literally is you.
That's
though.
Chelsea, innit?
That literally is you.
As long as I am involved.
As long as I am involved.
Ganto in the chat there says Liverpool really hurt Robbie, not therefore Arsenal couldn't mount a challenge.
I have no. I have no thing against Liverpool.
Just deep down.
I like Liverpool
off
as
camera.
a football club, but I didn't like the way you handled Trent
Okay,
Alexander-Arnold.
that's fine. Would love that transfer daily swap. That would be good TV, says Red Square. That would be good TV.
Do you want me to come on and
Matisse, I
do?
think we should do that. I'd love you to. If you seem to know everything, you can drop the.
I don't
the
know.
numbers
I don't
and
know.
the
I'm
exclusives
not.
on
I'm not
Top
saying I
TV.
know everything. I'm just saying that
Just to finish us off,
Harvey.
just to finish us off, right, Arsenal still haven't signed anyone yet. Victor Gyokeres still out there after the United snub. All the interest has gone into Sesko now, and we're hearing that United are set to target Semenyo or Eze if the Mbeumo bid fails. So, gun to your head, who do you end up with? And we'll ask you as well. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Sesko.
Oh, you're a second.
Oh,
away
really?
there.
You still think you get Sesko?
Yeah, I still think it.
Flex.
I'd
Semenyo,
rather
Eze or
Gyokeres,
Mbeumo?
but I'd think it'd be Sesko.
Who are you getting?
What, a striker?
Who are you going to end up getting? For sure.
Apparently we're trying to get Ekatike. Oh, you mean just in that position?
but
What do you mean?
You have to be realistic. Who are you going to end up with?
Mbeumo.
Still.
But we still need a striker. Yeah, but that's a separate position.
So who's the one striker you want?
Oh. Can't get Gyokeres now, can I? So Osimhen is the one I really want.
All right,
Yeah.
Osimhen. There you go.
But we're not going to get him.
And out of these players,
I think you're better than the
right,
other two.
that have just signed for new clubs, Ryan Shirky, Matheus Cunha, Liam Delap, Tijani Reinders and Florian Wirtz. Which signing will make the biggest impact next season, do you think? These are the biggest names that have gone for big
Question.
money.
Sometimes they don't always go the way you think it's going to go, innit?
Yeah.
Because you could do it relatively. You could say, well, Delap could take Chelsea to third place, and that would be a bigger impact than maybe Liverpool winning the league again.
Yeah, I know what you
Do
mean.
what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good question. They're all really good in their own rights.
I just look
Could
at
be Cunha.
Turkey feeding Haaland. If
Where's
it's
Marmoush playing?
off the left, maybe. I don't know. It's just Turkey can play all across,
Yeah, he
isn't it?
can.
It just
What
depends
about-
where
Right,
you're
he
willing
might
to
play a lot from the
sacrifice
right
the
as well.
defense. Yeah.
You say Turkey. What about Wirtz feeding
Salah.
Salah?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Wirtz one's a brilliant signing. You can't.
It's just because Turkey was a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Because of and that's
The expectation around
yeah.
Wirtz versus Turkey, 30 million euros, whatever it was.
I
Bang.
think if
feeding
we're looking
Haaland.
individually, I might go Cunha, because if he scores enough goals to maybe drag you into the top 8, you go from 16th to 8th. That's a big impact.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, 15th.
Every
Cunha.
place matters. Cunha's an Mbeumo could be just so transformational.
Reinders, I don't think's a needle mover.
No, I was going to say Reinders. I think is going to be slept on.
Yeah.
I was actually going to go him.
Really?
Actually, yeah. I think that
You've seen a lot of it.
I think people will see that he's just complete, man. He like
box to box.
he's
man.
wicked,
Good.
man. He is. I just think they've obviously Rodri's the conductor. Then I see him like connecting the dots.
He's going to be the
in
Gun-
between.
he's gonna
that
be the Gundogan,
attack-
no?
Yeah, man.
He's going to be the energy.
I think it could be a hidden one like him.
Yeah, he's
Well,
quality.
whilst we're talking about the top attacking guys and all that, I just think, got a feeling.
I think Gyokeres will smash it at Liverpool as well, you know.
Oh,
Kirkers, yeah.
He's
I mean,
Love
he's made
smash it, bro.
to
aggressive
Makes so much sense.
thing. Just
and Frimpong.
He's very good, that Kirkers.
Kirkers don't have to acclimatise nothing, just straight in, bang.
For me,
seen
at
it too many times.
at the moment, they've made the best signings, Liverpool. Like those three, because all three of those signings are slotting perfectly.
they're going to win the league again.
Won the
Vamos.
transfer window,
Yo,
congratulations.
I think.
Well, I'd rather win the Prem, but thank you. I'll take
No,
that.
they've got
Yeah,
those-
I did say
they're
West Ham
favourites
won
at
it
the moment
last
for me.
year, though.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it
same.
doesn't mean much. Brighton doing outstanding business this summer as well, says Prince. Arsenal just shop for Chelsea's leftovers, says Rajesh. And Clara Bitsy is actually paying us a compliment here. I never thought I'd see the day, Rob. She says, by the way, big up Robbie. I was vacationing in Bali these last few weeks, and Robbie and DR are quite popular, so big up to all the good content and banter. Are you all right, Clara? Is this
It's the off season.
No,
that's all.
listen.
is this the same Clara? What's
But
going
one
on?
thing about Clara, she's always there, man, showing support, man.
Shows
So big
mad
up.
support.
Big
Yeah,
up.
big
Big
up.
up to Clara.
Christian
But he ain't
Lopez
answered my question properly.
says, could a goalkeeper win the Ballon d'Or? Yeah, I think so. Donnarumma's probably got a good shout.
But as a goalkeeper's never won the Ballon d'Or, hasn't he?
Has Buffon or Khan not won it? No, they haven't. No. Reinders is not complete. His defensive work is non-existent. Virtually can't tackle. Looking at his stats.
Look at the stats. Look at the eye test.
Look at the stats. The eye
I
test,
looked at
different thing.
Ugarte's stats and he told me he's the highest. He's got the highest regains in Europe. But also the stats tell you a lot of other things.
You're talking about his hair.
And seeing it, yeah, exactly.
Mate, honestly, I remember slagging him off on Sky Sports saying he wasn't going to work out well, and everyone got onto me. And look,
Although you know,
Nah,
with
he's
players
not
like
been good at all.
Ugarte and these sort of, it was their first season. I think let's see what they do this year. I think that's more because some players it does.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a role to play.
I think the majority of players don't get going until the second season.
But I'm just saying, don't base everything off the stats. Was
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
And to answer your question, Christian, could a goalkeeper win the Ballon d'Or? The only person ever to do it is Lev Yashin, who was the Russian goalkeeper who won it many years ago, the Ballon d'Or. So big him up. Right, that's it today. We'll be back on Thursday with more of the same. Quick last super chat here from Ash. Do you guys think Bournemouth are in for a tough season? The team has been taken apart. So Barney also going to PSG. Yeah, it's fun while it lasted.
And they reckon they might lose Kluivert as well.
Yeah,
they have
got
to.
A lot of money. Let's see how they invest it. Innit?
And I do think maybe one more season and then Areola leaves there. But he's done a great job patching it up every season again, so big him up. Right, Matisse, great to see you back from South Africa.
Pleasure.
Thank you for your appearance today, Robbie and Flex. And I'm sure we can all agree that one of the best most complete midfield performances this week was mine in the Boots v Shirts game in Holland over the weekend. Up the boots, have a look at this.
Alles gut sein, strong.